Hi, I'm Eric with Mathews, and in this video we're going to take a look at how to set our discharge speed control settings. So from our home screen, we're going to navigate to the discharge speed control, which we can find in the System Settings menu, and clicking Discharge Speed Control here. The areas of this screen that we're going to focus on are the operational set points up here and the discharge speed alarms over on the side. We want to look first at our operational settings. You'll notice that we have a minimum speed allowed and a maximum speed allowed. What these settings do is they prevent the dryer from ever operating outside of that range. For example, we have a 15% minimum and a 95% maximum. If I go to try to change my discharge speed, I see that the minimum speed I can enter is 15 and the maximum is 95. If I enter a value that's outside of this range, it won't accept my value. So this is a way that we can constrain the dryer from running outside of a range, whether it's in manual or automatic. So while in automatic mode, the dryer will stay within these constraints as well. The most common use for these settings is if you know that you have restrictions on your takeaway equipment. So if you know that your auger leaving the dryer can only handle a certain amount of grain coming out, you can set a maximum allowable speed so that we don't jam the dryer. Over here, we have our discharge speed alarms. These behave similarly, but a little bit differently. Where these alarms prevent the dryer from going outside of a given range, these alarms will allow the dryer to continue outside of a range, but will enable an alarm to occur. You have both warning alarms at the values we see here, and critical alarms at the extreme values top and bottom. Most important difference between these settings is if you're running in automatic mode, if these are set to wide values, your dryer will continue to try to go down into these values and will shut down if you get down below a given speed here. So let's run through an example scenario. If you want to run a dryer in automatic mode and you know that your site works best operating between 15% and 35%, we can come into our maximum speed and change that to 35%. We've now constrained where our dryer can go. Now let's say that we never want the dryer to shut down from a discharge speed alarm, but we do want to be warned when it gets near those settings. We can come to each of these values. We can move our warning a little bit above 15, perhaps at 18. We can leave our critical setting down below 15 so that this will never be triggered. We can put our critical setting, it's already above 35, so we'll leave it here. This will not be triggered. And we could move our warning alarm to something like 32%. With the way this is set up, the automatic in AccuDry or TrueDry will be able to have a free range between 15 and 35%, but if it gets near either of these values, above 32 or below 18, you'll get a yellow warning alarm. This is one way to set up the discharge speed control. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but I hope this presentation has been helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.